All right, it is 5:30. I will call the Finance and Personnel Committee to order. We'll begin with the roll. Alder Close is excused. Alder LaFave. Here. Alder Decker.
Here.
Alder Perella.
Here.
Mitchell is here. We have a quorum. Will you please join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, barring objections from committee, we'll jump over item. Nope, we've changed the order. There are no more introductions. So item number 4 is the approval of the minutes from the prior committee meeting. Is there any discussion on those minutes? If not, we'd be looking for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no discussion on those minutes, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it and the motion passes. Minutes are approved. Takes us into item 5, which was public comment. Limited to 3 minutes per person with comments limited to items on this agenda. Do we have anybody for public comment tonight? Seeing none, we will move on to item number 6 under items for discussion and possible action. Report number 8 of 2526 by Director of Human Resources and Labor Relations, Kelly Hendy, submitting the exit interview summary for the City of Sheboygan for quarter 2 of 2025.
Good evening. So before you, you have the second quarter for 2025 of the exit interview summary. It provides you an outline of the retirements, resignations that we experienced in this second quarter. It's, again, a variety of reasons why people are gone, retirements, voluntary, more compensation elsewhere. We also did see kind of the same pattern we've been experiencing with the results of the questions, that a lot of people still strongly agree that it is a good place to work and that they appreciate the job duties, they have a good understanding of them, they appreciate their supervisor. So the comments that are, have been over the last year and a half since we've been tracking this are still very strong and staying pretty consistent.
Alder Perella.
Thank you very much, Director. I appreciate the report. I'm so glad that we are doing it, you are doing it. It's very clear. I can't recall the numbers from last quarter. How many more resignations we had this quarter compared to the previous one? I saw that you also mentioned that, but can you please remind us how many were in Q1?
I can look that up if you give me a minute. I want to say they're pretty much the same. The turnover rate has been relatively consistent as well, hovering right around the 3 to 4% average per quarter. This does not want to come up. Almost there.
In the interim, while we wait, I'll just jump in with my commentary as well. It's somewhat general, but it's still really nice being able to see this every quarter. And I appreciate all the work that's been going into not only collecting this feedback and putting it together, but continuing to even steal the questions I was going to ask in the summary at the end of it, already showing how that feedback is being responded to and how what we're learning is being put into action to help ameliorate some of the recurring items that may not be quite as far toward the strong legal side as we would like to see.
Thank you. So last quarter, we had 16 overall employees that separated employment. So what I could do for you too is maybe work a little bit with the report to put some of this side by side so that you can kind of see the quarters as they build.
Yeah, and you know, I think that in the notes you mentioned that the number of resignation went slightly up this quarter. I believe you were referring to the previous quarter. So if that is the case, it's good to have a reference. So if you know that, and it is a very nice piece of information to know, right? So if you mention that, maybe you can mention then, it's always good to have a comparison with the previous quarter, with the same quarter of the previous year, or with the or with the previous quarter. But I have a follow-up question, since it seemed that most of the resignation, as far as based on the comments left by the people who left the city as an employer, it looks to me that a few of them are from the library. So I wonder if, and there is one comment that I noticed about the fact that one person at least felt that the library, that they were isolated or something. I'm just paraphrasing. So I just want to have a confirmation. I know the answer, I think, but if you can confirm that every activity that is offered through HR to the employees include the library's employees, correct?
Correct, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
Thank you.
They have a spokesperson that kind of works right straight from HR to the library. And if they need clarification for anything, they contact us.
And also any activity that you as a department put together for the well-being of all the employees, the library's employees are included automatically, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? Alder LaFave?
Yes, I was just wondering if you had a figure of how many current positions that are needed are currently unfilled.
I want to say we're right around 9 or 10, but we have several in the queue getting ready to post.
Okay, all right.
Any other discussion? City Administrator.
Just a couple things to note. We have, I think it was 5 new city police officers, I believe, that are going to be starting in the next 2 weeks.
Correct.
And then we have 2 or 3 more in the queue that the Police and Fire Commission have approved. That will put us at our lowest vacancy since 2008. I believe was Chief's update this morning. So the police department will be at its fullest staffed that it's been at since about 2008. And then also we have 1 employee that's returning from a long-term leave in the planning department and will be fully staffed for the first time since 2022 in the planning department. So staff turnovers, I know it's always frustrating because we're a large employer. We've got roughly about 450 employees. So you're always going to have a certain amount of turnover. I think the state average is about.
We're still very relatively low. It's about 22%.
Yeah, so we're running about a 10 to 13% average. So we're well below, and I know we don't have historic figures for the city, but just the feedback and being fully staffed in some of our departments for the first time in a very long time. So it's a very positive thing to see.
Appreciate you sharing that, and that is great to hear for both departments. Since 2008, seems clear that there's been some effort to both attract and retain the people that we are bringing in, and 2022 as well. So that is all great to hear. Do we have any other discussion on this item? All right, if not, we'd just be looking for a motion to file.
Make a motion to file?
All right, seeing a motion in a second, rather, there is a motion in a second, then seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it, and the motion passes. That one's been filed. Next up is item number 7, which is resolution number 71 of 25-26, amending the 2025 budget for various expenses incurred or planned.
Good evening. This resolution is brought forward to you for, one, transparency purposes, but also to be in line with our policy, our financial policies. There are a couple items in here, including increasing contracted services in forestry to reflect a grant that is unspent and carry forward from '24, reallocation of CDBG expenses from the to the administration account from the salaries and benefits accounts, just to align with the accounting in that program. Reflect the business loans that have been approved and paid throughout this year so far. There's legal expenses in the Human Resources Department, and also some additional contracted services in the Common Council budget in order to cover interpreting services for these meetings.
Any discussion on this item? Alder Perrell?
Can you please, as usual, unpack it just as if you were talking to an 8-year-old? So you decrease from where you move the numbers. Where is it you increase? Where is it you decrease? I understand there is a description there, but if you can explain that, would be appreciated.
Sure, no problem. So the first budget change is an increase to both contracted services and an increase to state payments, because that is for the grant that we had not received yet at the end of '24. So we're increasing both the allowed expense and the allowed revenue for that line in order to allow for that stump grinding contract to continue. For CDBG, this one is quite a few lines, so bear with me for a moment. So there is a decrease in the salaries, FICA, fund, health insurance, and dental insurance. That actually will add up to what the increase is for administration. So that's reallocating those expenses. We have it in our system. It got budgeted in full-time salaries because that's the best way for us to budget ahead of time. But then when we actually go to do the reporting, it's under that administration category. We also have the increase of the public service programs and the increase of the grant that supports that. So that you see public service programs increase for $150,000 and increase of the grant that we'll receive to offset that of the $150,000. And then we also have the business loans and business loan direct charges. Those are also increases, and you see it says fund equity applied. We have on-hand dollars in the revolving loan fund that supports those programs. So we're actually utilizing the fund balance that we have within that fund that is restricted for this use. So we have an increase of those 3 accounts for that type of program. If you go to both legal expenses and the contract usage for interpreting services, so these were 2 items that the budget doesn't quite reflect what is being spent. And so I'm going to be doing a report next Monday at the Common Council meeting for the year-to-date budget report. So when I was reviewing the figures for what we have so far in these accounts, this was it's an increase of the legal services and contracted services accounts, and it is offset by a use of contingency. So we have $500,000 that we set aside in the budget annually for those unexpected items that we didn't know we needed to budget for. So that's what is being offset here. Moving forward, if we know that these expenses will continue, that's what Administrator Bradley and I and the finance and admin team will look at during the budget process to make sure it's reflected accurately moving forward.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments? If not, we'd be looking for a motion to approve on this one.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second for approval. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion passes. That one is approved. Takes us to item number 8, which is resolution number 72 of 25-26, authorizing an amendment to the 2025 budget for the purchase of parcel numbers as reflected on the agenda from Claire A. Gartman.
Thank you. This item is brought forward, as you recall, the Common Council approved last Monday the purchase of these 2 parcels, and this is just a reflection in the budget to account for those expenses. You can see that we are taking it from the capital fund and are planning to do a debt issuance for this. However, I will say that there is potential contemplation of having the project plan incorporate this for the TID to have it get reimbursed. So it could be a TID expense, but due to the current TID project plan, we need to have it this method at this time.
Questions or comments? If not, we'd be looking for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second, then seeing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it, and the motion passes. That one is approved. The next regularly scheduled date for this committee will be August 11th of this year, and with that, we have exhausted our agenda and are looking for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it, and the motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chair.